The viral side seam bow is just trending everywhere. If you have not heard of it, if you have not seen it, I just did a reel on IG. It's just literally sweeping the embroidery nation, and I had to hop on the trend. Now, I'm not technically like a bow girl, but I thought it was cute and I made one for myself, and this is how it turned out. Of course, I did mine with, you know, the buffalo plaid. I cut out the neckline. And, you know, I had to put my own little twist on it. I love the way it came out because me and my family were going away for Christmas. We're doing a Christmas cruise, so stay tuned for that. So we were going to do like matching pajamas, and we still might, but I know in particular one of the shows is going to be like ice. It's going to be freezing. So I said, we're going to need some sweaters. So I thought that was a cute idea. My sisters, everyone loved it. So while I'm in the process of making the rest of theirs and I have some orders to do, I was asked to do a tutorial. So I'm going to be doing a quick tutorial today on the side seam viral bow, and you can do this in any way you like. You don't have to do the bow. I already have like a little patch cut out as my template. I'll show you how I use it as my guide, but you don't have to do a bow. I've seen so many other adorable variations like the Christmas tree. I've seen the lights. You can be creative as you want. I've seen someone do like a Grinch on the side. So listen, I'm trying to see what I can do for my son because we're not giving him no bow, but he'll just have the words without anything on the side. But the little cutouts are really, really simple. So I know a few people want to know exactly how you do it, what's the right steps, and there are a few videos, so thank you for watching mine. I know I'm just a little bit late behind because your girl's been busy. Now there are a few methods that you can do. You can do like the float method, but I'm not going to do that method. I'm just going to do regular applique style, but I'll show you how I do it, how I perfected it, because I did make some mistakes on this one. I did make some mistakes, and I'm gonna show you how you can avoid those mistakes in today's video. All right, so I am Katrina. If this is your very first time on my channel, welcome. I'm glad to have you. But if you are a returning subscriber, you already know what time it is. You already know the vibes. So if you want to learn how to make this awesome viral side seam bow sweatshirt for the holidays, definitely stick around for today's tutorial because it's gonna be a good one. So there's a few things that you're going to need to achieve this look. You're going to need a sweatshirt or a t-shirt because I've definitely seen it done on t-shirts. You're going to need your fabric. I'm going to be using the buffalo plaid, or you can of course use the tear away glitter. So I'm definitely going to be doing that, and I'm going to be offering both. You are going to need heat and bond. This is going to be a lifesaver if you're doing applique with fabric. If you're using glitter applique, you don't need the heat and bond. But if you're using fabric, this is a must. This is a must. This helps with fraying, and if you've ever seen that shiny stuff on the back of the fabric, some people were asking me, what is that? That's what this is. It holds the fabric in place, and of course it will bond it to the garment, and so it doesn't move. And of course when you go to cut away your fabric, it prevents from fraying. You're going to need some applique scissors. These are the scissors I used. It has the little curved edge right there. So this is going to be what's going to get in and around those corners and up close, so that way you don't see your material stick out. All right, so applique scissors. These are linked in my Amazon store under embroidery. Okay, you're going to need tear away. This is the mistake I used. The very first time I did it, I did cutaway, but you're going to need tear away stabilizer. I know, especially if you're using a sweater, it's okay. Just double up if you're using a t-shirt, but tear away is going to be best, so that way it just tears right away and you don't have all of the backing stabilizer sticking out of the bow. All right, but you can use regular cutaway like for your top if you want. You're going to need your hoops. You can use whatever standard hoops that you have. But today, I'm going to be using my Mighty Hoops with my Mighty Hooping Station because it just makes life so much easier, and I don't embroider without them unless it's just some, I don't embroider without them. I don't have any hoop size that I need that I don't have. So I'm using Mighty Hoops, and of course, if you want to order these, I have a free shipping code linked down below in the description box. You can use Graceful at checkout, or you can call the number and give the code in, and you can get free shipping when you place your order on some Mighty Hoops. So this is just another option that you can use when you're doing applique. If you ever want to hold your fabric or your pieces in place, it's like a fast tack spray. You just spray it on your fabric or material really quick and just holds everything in place if you're doing applique. That's pretty much everything I'm going to need and use for today's video, other than the star of the show, my embroidery machine. I'm going to be using my Applique 2002. Oh, and of course, we're going to be using a heat press as well. So I'll get to that. Anything else I'm going to need, of course, I'll show it while I'm working. All right, so let's go ahead and set everything up, and I'll show you how to hoop it out. So I am going to be using my mighty hooping station. This is just going to help me get perfect placement for every stitch out. This is the hooping station. It allows you to hoop various garments, different sizes. I was going to start with the side seam bow, but because this is already placed perfectly for my 8x13, I'm just going to go ahead, and these are magnetic hoops. Be careful with your fingers. I'm going to go ahead and place this in here. For the top, I am using cutaway, so I'm just going to cut this away. And again, this is the 8x13. It's like the main size that you use for like front designs. They do have bigger and they do have smaller. I'm just gonna put my cutaway stabilizer in here. The good thing about this is that it holds these little black flaps. It holds your stabilizer in place while you're hooping your garment, all right? This is a Gildan soft style. So I'm gonna mark where I want my words to fall. So 4 fingers down, 3 fingers down is good. I'm just gonna put this little tape because sometimes when you hoop it on here, and I'll show you, sometimes it'll fall too low for the design. So when you're hooping and when you're using this, it's good to mark where you want it to be or where you want it to start at, because I have hooped this and then I took it to the machine, and when I did my trace, it didn't fit in the frame. So now technically what I mean is, like, I can pull this all the way down, but if I pull this all the way down, if you can see, this is where the bottom stops at. This is not enough space. So I have all this other space up here for the frame. So I just need to pull it up. Use the center of the board as your guide. And there's also like a center line in here to make sure your garment is even. So I'm gonna pull this up even more, making sure that it stays centered. I have this amount of space now to embroider my design, making sure I leave some room at the top so that way I don't hit the frame. And all I'm gonna do now is take the top, making sure everything is centered up, because I'm kind of on a side angle because of the camera, and it just snaps in place just like that. Okay, now we're just gonna take it off. It's so easy. This is why I love the hooping station. And so you'll know that you're hooped right, you want to make sure that it's nice and tight and sounds like a drum. So that's in there, really nice and tight and secure, okay? Make sure you always clear your garment. Make sure nothing is, up under here, because for those of you who know, yeah, we have sold garments shut around here before, so we're not trying to make that mistake again. So just make sure you always clear your garments. Just double check. Doesn't hurt to double check. So this is my Applique 2002. It's a 2-head with the 10S touchscreen panel. So my design is already loaded. This is how it's going to come out with the colors. I love how you can actually see the colors displayed if you have your colors to correspond with the numbers and the colors in the correct space, all right? I'll take you through the steps once we get to the actual bow, so that way you can see the placement, the tack down, and how to do it, frame out and everything. But I'm gonna go ahead and just do this really quick, and then we'll jump to the bow. So you want to cut out your fabric in the size of the stitch out. All right, so I'm just using this to measure based upon the other sweatshirt that I already did. So I'm just going to cut out the piece of the fabric, and my design is about 10 by 6, about 10 by 6 for anyone who wants to know. But just measure your hoodie, your size, and of course it'll get bigger, maybe a little bigger if I'm doing like a size 2X. So I always tell you guys the sizes will change based upon the size of the garment that you're working on. All right, so this is my fabric, buffalo plaid. So now I'm going to take my patch that I cut out, and I'm just going to cut it out for the space and the size that I need for both of the side seam bows. Make sure you get the one that says ultra hole. I'm using the one that says ultra hole. Now the heat and bond doesn't have to be exactly the same size. I'm gonna cut this a little bit smaller because I don't want the stickiness to get on the actual heat press. So I'm gonna do it again. And I'm just gonna cut out the heat and bond. Okay. Okay, again, I'm using my Hotronix Fusion, and this doesn't have to be heated up all the way. This is just gonna be some light presses. First, I'm just going to straighten out my fabric because as you see, it's like all wrinkled, so we want it to lay straight. So I'm just gonna give it like a little quick pre-press. All right, 5 seconds is good. And as you can see, now the fabric is laid out straight. You want to make sure that you are putting the textured side, one side is rough, one side is smooth. You want to lay that down. You want to lay that down onto the actual fabric, all right? I'm going to cut off the side because I don't want any of the sticky material to get on the heat press. All right, again, textured side down. And again, that's just a little bit of oil from when I was doing oil in my machine. All right, so I have all my heat and bond laid down. I'm just gonna cover this so that way it doesn't curl up. I'm just gonna press this for like 10 seconds and that's gonna be fine. Okay. First time me pressing it with oil on it. You're gonna let it cool just a little bit. Just let it cool. As you can see, now the fabric is like really straight. Now I'm gonna just peel back the white part. Once you peel back the white part, now you see the shiny side. Now you see the gloss. That's gonna be your adhesive, all right? So I'm gonna take this off. We're gonna start with this piece. Now you can see the shiny side. Now let's head on over back to the embroidery machine. All right, now I'm just gonna place that right up here, making sure all sides are covered. And I'm gonna go ahead and hit start. So it just framed out. Now I'm gonna go ahead and cut the excess away. If this was the glitter, I would just rip it away. Now keeping the hoop, everything in place, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cut all the material off. This is the whole purpose of the heat and bond light, is so that there's no fraying and that the fabric is now stable and sturdier. So I have that all cut out perfect other than the insides. Now for the middle part, you want to use like a little seam ripper and you just want to pull up a little small piece. I always try to go as close to the corner as possible because you don't want to cut your garment. I've done this before. All right, I'm gonna hold the inside and you'll be able to feel. Now because you have heat and bond, it's a little bit thicker, but all I'm gonna do is just try to get my scissor under there. And I'm just going to take a little snip because you got to cut out that circle. Now these are sharp. You don't technically need this. You can just do it with this. But I just don't ever want to poke too far down. You got to be very careful not to cut all the way through. To lift it away from the actual material, I'm going to put a little slit and I'm going to put my little scissor right in there and cut away. And again, once you start doing it, you will be able to feel where the fabric is. Now I'm just going to take this and just try to get any excess off, and the satin border will finish everything out. All right, let's go back to the machine. That's done. Makes a little noise, a jingle, and you can actually program this to your own tunes. I have to figure out how to do that. I haven't done that yet. I'm gonna take this out and we're gonna start on the bows, which you've all came for. But this stitched out so beautifully, so beautifully. All right, let's go ahead and do the side seams. Don't forget to cut down and clean up your cutaway backing. Okay, so for the side seams, you can actually press this if you want. I'm not going to press it because I have a side, because it's already folded and it already has like a little crease right here on both sides. So I know exactly where I'm going to be placing my ribbon at. Now, some people cut the bottom hem off. I'm not cutting my bottom hem off. I don't really like that, but I am going to try to get the ribbon as low as possible. Again, you can float this, you can do it underneath, and I'm going to actually, you know, hoop it and do it the way that I like best. So make sure it's nice and straight and flat, and we're going to hoop it onto the hooping station. So I'm actually going to adjust this bracket so that way I can move this down and it fits perfectly now for this size hoop. And this is the 8x9. This is the 8x9 mighty hoop. There's holes all along this that make it perfect for any size mighty hoop. So now all I'm doing is just putting the pegs into the next hole. Okay? And so now that's the perfect fit. So now I got my 8x9, and I have a pack of tearaway that I got off of Amazon. So I'm going to use 2 because we want to make sure that it's, you know, thick enough. But as you see, that doesn't reach all the way up there. It doesn't reach all the way up there. So I'm just going to tape it so that way it'll hold in place. I'm just going to tape it at the top, and I'm going to tape it at the bottom, making sure it's nice and tight. Okay? You can tape it on the sides too if you want. Once I put the crew neck on, I don't want it to move. All right, so this is why I do this cutout. I want to mark where I want my ribbon to fall, and I want to try to get it as low to the bottom as possible. The one I didn't get it that low. Still came out great, but I would want it to be a lot lower. So I'm going to put another piece of tape right here. This is like where the bow is. All right, let's just leave it like that, and that's going to be my guide. All right, so now I'm going to hoop it, and I'm actually going to do the same thing to the other side right away. Just put the tape there so that way I'll know. Make sure this is as even as possible. Again, you can press this if you want. I'm not pressing it. And now I'm going to take it to the hoop master. Now I'm just going to open this up, and I'm going to put this on. Now this can't come all the way down because this is going to be embroidering like really up close to the garment. All right, so this has to have room. Where I'm stopping the crew neck is like by the second hole right here. So I'll know when I get ready to do the other side. I'm trying to use different things as my placement. All right, so I'm just going to make sure that's stretched out, and I'll have it right here by these second row of holes. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually embroider this upside down, because we don't want all of the top of the garment to be like bunched up and get in the way, get caught or anything like that. So the U part of the mighty hoop is going to always go in up. Typically I would hoop it like this, right? But because I'm going to embroider this upside down, I'm going to have to hoop it like this. All right, so I'm just making sure this is up. I'll tighten it where I need it in just a second. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and hoop this just like that. And now I'm going to tighten this because just trying to make sure that's tight and straight and centered. Okay, all right, and now let's go ahead and take it to the machine. Real easy and simple. Now I don't have to worry about my crew neck getting caught all in the material in the back. So I'm just going to go ahead and insert it this way. All right, making sure everything is clear. I'm going to hang my garment over the bar. And now we're going to switch out the frame in here. So I'm going to go to home. I'm going to open the embroidery status. I'm going to select hoop size, and we're going to choose the 8x9 size. It says incompatible right now, but that's only because the design is too big. So we got to change out the design. It automatically changes to fit that size frame. All right, it gives us a warning, all those red marks that lets you know that the design is too big. But now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna select the design, selecting it from the machine. We're gonna pick our bow, we're gonna hit select, and now it fits, but now we need to flip it. We need to flip it. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go to design settings, and I'm going to rotate. I'm gonna rotate. Now I had it this way, so now I'm just going to, let's see, if I flip this, now it's in the right position, right? So now we want to flip it upside down 180 degrees. 180 degrees, perfect. Now we're doing it upside down. All right, looks exactly like that. Let's go ahead and do our colors. I'm gonna hit OK. I'm going to click on select colors. As you can see, this one was from the stitch out that I did. So I'm going to, for my first one, so for my first color, I'm gonna hit like the cream color. And if it wasn't selected already, I would have to hit the offset. The offset on this machine, I don't know why they chose offset. That's gonna be the frame out. You can see the little icon, it's framing out. So it's already selected. When you see the O there, that's what that means. My second color, my second stop is gonna be black. And then I'm gonna hit the offset again. So already pressed. And then my last one is gonna be black. So as you can see, everything looks black up here. I'm just gonna go ahead, click save. And now I'm gonna do my trace to make sure it's where I want it to be on the machine. It's always gonna trace from needle 1. Oops. Oh, so that's perfect. Going right to the edge, going right to the edge. I'm gonna take this off. All right, going 800 stitches per minute. Let's go ahead and do the placement stitch. This is gonna be the placement stitch. So that's the placement stitch, and I could have gotten a little bit closer to the edge, but that's perfectly fine. So now I'm going to go ahead and lay the buffalo plaid down. It's going to go back in. I'm just going to hold it just a little bit. It's going to frame out again, and now we're going to cut away all the excess. All right, so now I'm going to cut away the excess of the material for the fabric. If again, this was glitter and I left it in to show you. If you're using glitter applique, all you have to do is literally just rip it away and it would be so much easier. All right, so I will be making these with glitter as well because it's tearaway. It just literally makes life so much easier. But with the fabric, you're gonna have to cut. So I am gonna cut up close, so that way the satin border, the satin finish can be clean. Away, and then we're gonna cut out the middle, and I'll tell you why when I get to that. So I'm getting right up close again to that stitch, as close as I can with these curved scissors, and next time I will definitely have my applique pieces pre-cut so that way I don't have to do all of this. So now for the middle part, guys, ever so lightly, I'm going to take the scissor and I'm going to cut away down in here. I'm gonna take the big one so I can just get a split down in here. I'm gonna leave the tearaway. I'm leaving the tearaway, okay? Because you need it to be stable. So I'm just cutting this so I can get up in here. And I'm gonna take my curved scissors and I'm now gonna cut away right at the seam. I know, scary. Oh my God, cutting a sweater. Hope I'm not blocking the camera. Trying to get that nice and up close. Trying to get as much of the fabric of the crew neck as possible so that way the satin stitch will close it off and finish it off. This side is easier to do than the other side, just because of the angle of the scissors and the direction of the bow. And I'm gonna cut all the way down. This is the hardest part because you're trying to keep the backing on and you're trying to get all of your garment as well nice and up close to the edge. But it's gonna look so good once it's finished. So I'm just trying to get any extra fabric that's like sticking out. So this is how it should look once you do your little cutout. Make sure you leave the tearaway on and you cut everything else off. But as you can see, I cut all the way down. Next time, I'll try to bring the bow a little bit down further, but this is still good. And if you want, you can also like cut that away too. Yeah, I am gonna cut this. I'm gonna cut this sweater, the crew neck here. I think it'll look better right here too. So I'm gonna cut that because the satin border will finish that off. Yep, so that way I'll have that little edge. So that way it will be up close. And I'm going to go with the tip that way. Oh yeah, I like that much better. I like that much better. Okay, and now I'm going to get that same angle and cut on a downward angle. Again, if you want to cut all of that off, some people do that. I don't need to do that. Some people cut all the way around, but yeah, I'm not doing all that. Make it however unique you want. And let's head back to the machine. Okay, so this is the part. I had to shift my machine a little bit because I'm on the second head. I don't even know if I don't think I was recording. I just stopped the machine because I can tell I'm off a little bit. I had to switch to the second head as I was saying, and then I had to shift it. I kept getting thread breaks right around here. So that's why you see this looks like that. I kept trying to go over it. I took out the thread, and then I had to shift the machine just a little bit because when you're on a two head, sometimes it's not exactly identical because the holes back there are not even. So I just had to like shift it over just a little bit, but somehow or another, because I'm on the second head, it just shifted a little bit. So I'm gonna keep going, but I don't think it's like right on the edge. We're gonna see how this comes out, but hopefully the second side will be perfect because this one I had to stop and switch heads in the middle. So I hope you guys understand that, but we're gonna make it work. I just hate that that happened in the middle of this part, but I can tell it's off a little bit. I tell you, stuff is always happening to me while I'm filming. Let's just go ahead and rip this out, and that way we can really see what the edges look like. Because, baby, this was not supposed to happen. I kept getting thread breaks and I had to switch it. But this is rip away, so I'm just gonna rip this all away. As you see, it rips away. Again, I just threw that extra one on there for extra security because it looked like it was just coming out. I'm just gonna rip this away and see what's left. Okay, so you just see the cutaway. You see the tearaway, the white, and that's because again I had to move it over. So you see how you see that little red piece right there, and at the bottom. But I'm gonna fix the bottom, and I'm gonna show you how you can like burn the ends. I'm gonna burn the ends. I'm trying to get this red. I'm just probably gonna have to use a fabric for this. These scissors are so sharp, so I do not want to cut the crew neck, but I do want to try to get that red out from right there. But this I can easily just, you know, mark with a fabric marker. Almost got it perfect, almost got it perfect. This one really moved up a little bit. You see that? So just a little bit of the satin border. Yeah, we gotta fix this one. I gotta fix this one without cutting the border. So Had I not, I don't think had I moved it, it would have messed up. But I'm gonna see, because I'm gonna do the second one. So we definitely got to cut the excess off. But this still came out really good. It came out better than my first one. As you see, I'm just cutting because we don't want any fabric on the outside. We don't want anything to fray. And that's actually really good. All right, so I'm just gonna fix this right here. Okay, and then I'll burn it once I'm done. All right, so let's go ahead and hoop the second side. But listen, we can, these are easy fixes. As long as I ain't putting holes in the garments, and as long as, you know, we got the ribbon on there. All right, that's how the first one came out. Let's go ahead and do the second side. So here I am just repeating the exact same steps, and I have my markings already out, so that way both sides of the ribbons come out identical. So take your measurements or do whatever you have to, so that way yours can be the same on both sides, but you can also do the float method if you find that to be easier. And hopefully the second side turns out better than the first side. Okay, so I just did my trace, and I just want to give you guys a tip. So I realized what happened with the other side, why it didn't go to the bottom, because it shifted a little bit. The bottom rib part of the crew neck moved ever so slightly. So if you don't want it to move, then just spray a little bit of adhesive. So I just sprayed a little bit underneath the crew neck onto the actual tearaway stabilizer, so it doesn't move. And that's going to be the part that I cut off anyway. But it's actually shifting a little bit. I noticed it even when I did my trace. So once I sprayed this, then I'm good. I'm golden. And if you want to know how to do the float method, my girl Kayla, she did a video. She shows you how to do the float method over it, so that way it's perfectly, like, I guess, aligned, so you don't have to do all of this. But again, I just sprayed this, and now I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's do side 2 of this bow. And I literally moved it up just a little bit, second guessing myself, and I probably moved it up too far. All right, so I got that one. I got this side pretty clean as well, as clean as I can. All right, let's go ahead and stick this in the machine and finish this baby off. All right, I'm in the home stretch, putting this in, and now it's time to finish it off with the satin border. And all I'm gonna do is, again, make sure everything is cleared, give it a little blow, and here we go. One is done. Finally finished. All right, just 2 more steps to go. The feeling that you feel when you finally finish a garment, well, we just gotta press the heat and bond, and then we gotta burn the edges, and then I'm done. All right, so let's see how this one came out, and let's pray that I got both sides even. Tear out the tearaway. I love that nice clean finish. I'll snip and clean all that afterwards. And you do, I just want to say, you do want to get that tear away from in the middle, because it's going to wash and wrinkle. So all of that you want to tear out. Do that now. So I'm just tearing out all the insides of the tearaway that's not, you know, embroidered down. That's not stitched down. If it was cut away, then you wouldn't need to do that. Again, all the products that I use will be linked down below in the description box. You can also just head to my Amazon store and look under the embroidery section. If you're interested in any embroidery machine from Ricoma, you don't have to have the 2-head. I do have the 1501 if you're just watching my channel for the first time. But they do have a smaller machine. That's the EM1010. The Creator one, they just came out with the new updates for the Creator one. So it's a really great machine. It's a starter machine, but it's a 10 needle. The one at my single head machine is a 15 needle, and then the one that I'm working on is a 20 needle, just in case if you're not sure. The one I was working on today was a 20 needle, but I do have a 15 needle as well. All right, so I'm just tearing all of the tearaway out, cleaning this up. So we got the side seams done. Fingers crossed that it's even. If it ain't, oh well. So now let me check. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna fold it in half. That's the best way for me to do it. And I'll let you guys see up close. I know y'all like, let me see. We Gucci up in here. We are Gucci. Y'all stop playing with your girl. I told y'all. All right, I know y'all want to see. All right, do y'all see that? That's both the side seams. Let me bend it in the middle. Okay. That's how the edges look up close. Look at that. That's the tearaway that you're seeing. So we'll cover that with the black. And it's fine if you see the inside, but when you're wearing it, you won't see it. But just so you can see, trying to line it up perfectly. All right, so I'm just going to, I got it, it's literally pretty much even. I think this side is a little lower than this side, but I'm going to cut it. But look at that, that's lined up. That's pretty much even, guys. I'm just going to cut it, and it's a little slight, but when you're wearing this, you're not gonna see it. So this one is a little higher than this side, but baby, that's almost perfect. Like, I ain't complaining. I am not complaining. And I don't even want to mess with this. I don't even want to mess with that because that's pretty much all on the same angle. All right, so I'm going to now burn the ends and then heat press. I bought this off of Amazon specifically for this. I know people use it like for woodwork. I had one. I had a little hot knife, but I don't know where it is. Like, ever since I moved in here, I have no idea where it is. So I'm hoping that this is going to work. I just need to score the edges really quick. I had me a little hot knife. I had a little cheap one already, but ever since I moved into the garage, I have no idea where it is. So I'm just going to take this. This looks like a much better one anyway than the one that I used to have. So I'm just going to take this. And so I bought it specifically for this because I know I'm going to be doing orders, right? It comes with all these different like accessories. I'm just going to put the thin one on here, a really thin one. Okay, so it says to use the pliers to change the points. Each one of these have like a specific task for. So again, you can use this for wood burning. You can use this for calligraphy. You can use this for all types hot stamping. I mean, this is a really, really great toolkit. All right, so I'm just gonna tighten this in. I'm just using the pointy one. You can use this on leather. So I haven't tried this one on fabric, but we're gonna see if it works. It says it takes 4 to 5 minutes to heat up, so let me go ahead and heat it up. All right, so this is heated up. I am going to just use this to score. I don't even know if that's the right word. Burn, to stop all the fraying, the edges. I already tested it on some fabric. Works really great, works awesome. So all I'm doing is just taking this. This is really hot. And I'm just going to rub up against, and this is literally just going to clean up the edges. It's going to clean up the edges. It's not really anything sticking out. Not really anything sticking out other than like maybe right here out of the satin border. So I'm just going to clean that up. So if you have any loose ends, this automatically, I'm not sure if you guys can see what that's doing, but it's not a lot sticking up either. But you can see the smoke and it's burning the edges, okay? It's cleaning that all up. Let's go around to this side and it's gonna stop the fraying. So let me put this in the camera for you guys so you can kind of see the loose edges just a little bit right there, the frays. It's not a lot, but it's there. So now I'm going to take this
And I'm going to just clean that up. Do y'all see that? How it's just melting and burning. Okay. Just getting that right up in there. Now, the sweater looks good, but I'm just gonna go over it ever so lightly just to make sure I help without it, help so it doesn't fray. All right. Gonna do the inside of here as well. And baby, oh yeah, do y'all see that? I hope you guys are seeing that. This side is pretty good. Yep. So glad I bought this. So glad I bought this. There you go. And now let's heat press it and I'll give you the final reveal. The last and absolute final step is, because you're using like the heat and bond, you want to now bond the fabric to the actual garment. So it's long lasting, it's secure. You can use a Teflon if you want. I will. And you're just gonna give it a final press. I should have used the HeatPress Nation one, my new HeatPress. I used that one in the reel because it has the arm platen, which is perfect for the bows. Literally perfect for the bows. 7-10 seconds is good, just to get that heat and bond now secured to the actual garment. All right, and now I'm gonna do the side seams. Oh yeah, that's looking really nice. That's looking really nice. So I don't have a attachment for this platen, but I'm gonna open it up and just press it just like that. Still get in there, so you can still do that with a regular, but this is a threadable heat press. Otherwise, I would have to do it, you know, on top of each other, and I don't want to. So I'm just gonna go ahead, put that on here. And again, 10 seconds. Okay, that's side one. I'm gonna flip it and do the other side. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. This is my Merry Christmas side seam bow crew neck. All right, so this one is the crew neck. The one I did over there, that's the V-neck. You can get it to say Merry Christmas, Merry and Bright. Finished edges, really nice. Finished edges, really nice. All right, let me know what you guys think. So I'm just lint rolling it because now that I'm done, of course, I have to take pictures, add it to my website. And again, I'm gonna be selling these crew necks in multiple colors. I have the sand, I have the green, I have the red, I have the black. You don't have to get buffalo plaid. You can get the glitter or you can get the white buffalo plaid. But I love the way this turned out. Let me know what you guys think if you tried it, if you haven't. I know there's different techniques. I know there's different methods, but this is like the best way that I've found to be able to do it so far. Trying to think if I should add something to the sleeves. Nah, I think it's fine just like this because, yeah, I might add something to my son's sleeves because his is just gonna say Merry Christmas. We're not doing a bow for no boys or for guys. So me and my family were all going away for the holidays, so we're definitely gonna be matching. I'm even getting my mother to wear one of these. Can't believe it. But I don't want my son to feel left out with the bow. So let me know if there's something. I think maybe I can do like a buffalo plaid truck or something like on the side. Maybe that'll be cute. Maybe for the boys, I'll do like the little, you know, the little Christmas truck. I'll put that down on the side of his. So that'll be a really cool idea. But I don't want to leave you guys out if you don't have embroidery machines. You can do this with HTV. You can definitely do this with HTV. So let me know if you guys want to see that video because yeah, you need a heavy HTV to make it really pop, make it really good. So I definitely want to show you guys how to do that. If you want some ideas using like flock or using glitter, really nice. So just because you don't have an embroidery machine,
you can still do it, all right? Especially like on t-shirts. It will look really, really cute. But nevertheless, this is how it turned out. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I really hope this tutorial was helpful. This is a really fun and easy, simple project to do. Really, and it's much easier if you use glitter. I'm just gonna keep saying that. If you use glitter, you'll be done even faster. All the links are down below in the description box. As always, you know where to find them. And if you want to place an order with me, go ahead. Katrina's Graceful Creations, that's down below in the description box and it's pinned in the comments. Get them while supplies last, because I don't know how long I'm going to be doing it. Once Christmas is over, then I'm going to change over and I'll probably do like other designs as well. All right. But if you want these in time for the holidays, because your girl is going on a Christmas cruise, make sure you get those orders in ASAP. All right. Now, before you click off the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Goes a long way, helps me out with the channel. And if this is your very first time on my channel, please check out some of my other past content. Stick around for a while. We have a whole lot of fun over here, and I do a whole lot more than embroidery. So please consider subscribing, joining the fam, and joining the fun. All right, for all of you old heads, for all of you subscribers already, for all my crew, guys, you already know what to do. Keep moving in grace, keep pressing, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. See you later. Love you. Bye.